Science.
Mr. Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Family and Consumer Science Show. I'm Mr. G. We are next. This episode is called Vegetables, Rice, and Chicken. Truly a super important, super useful topic. We have, get yourself a piece of lined paper if you're taking my class at school. If not, please enjoy. Maybe learn a few facts about how to prepare chicken and rice and vegetables. Let's enjoy. Let's go. Feet on the floor, back straight, never bowing over your plate. Chew with your mouth closed. Get those elbows off the table. This ain't no horse's stable, but a respectable dining room table. Upper left-hand corner. Name, first name, last name, period and date, and right in that center line, rice, vegetable, and chicken info video. Question number one, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I'm going to read the question, talk a little bit about it, and you choose the correct answer. Number one, define poultry. What is poultry? Is it A, a way to cook chicken, B, a two-winged, cold-blooded, non-egg-laying animal, or C, a two-winged, warm-blooded, egg-laying animal raised for their eggs and meat? I do not want to see C. I want to see, paraphrased, the answer. And the answer for that one is a two-winged, warm-blooded, egg-laying animal raised for eggs and meat. That's the whole poultry experience. Number two, what does mise en place mean? If I say, or if you want to say, let's mise en place before we start cooking, what are we saying? Are we saying A, not ready to cook? B, a new book about cars? Or C, everything in its place before you start cooking, meaning measured out correctly, tools and equipment sanitized? So I'm kind of heading for that. I'm saying, yeah, it's C. Everything in its place and ready to cook. Number three, if you caramelize something, you think of caramel, caramel, sugary, yummy, caramel candy, yum. It's sort of like that. But if you are caramelizing something, is it true or false? Is caramelizing a way to cook out the natural sugars in foods that will make things sweeter? True or false? Number four, true or false? Chicken or poultry is a good source of protein. Protein, a good building block, a lot of energy, a lot of good things in that protein. Does chicken have any of that protein in it, or does poultry? Number five, what is the dimensions of a julienne cut? Meaning, a julienne cut is usually seen sometimes on, say, a vegetable platter. They're usually pretty thin and pretty precise cuts. Are they 2 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches? 3 inches by 1/8 by 1/8? Or 9 by 7 by 7? Your thoughts. Julienne. Julienne. Wherefore art thou, Julienne? Corny, I know. Okay, number 6. Now, we've talked about this a lot, but here's another refresher just to get it clear in our mind. Number 6, what is a safe internal temperature to make sure that your chicken or poultry or almost any product is safe to eat internally. That means on the thickest part, or way down in the thickest part of that chicken leg. Look at that big chicken leg. Ooh, I've got my thermometer, putting it in there. I'm reading it. Hey, what should it come up to? Should it come up to 100 degrees, 135 degrees, 145 degrees, or 165 degrees? That's a good temperature. That's a good hit. At 165 is where most bacteria, or the red that you might see in poultry, cooks away and becomes clear. Number 7, if you have an internal food thermometer, if you do not have an internal food thermometer, what other methods could you use to assure that your chicken is safe to eat? Do I A, look at it with my eyes and my chicken is now white with no red? Or B, does my chicken look a little pinkish and a little slimy? Which one? I don't have that thermometer. I want to make sure it's done. How should it look? Number 8. When you're storing chicken, we've talked about food storage a lot. What temperature should you store cooked chicken, or mainly anything that goes into that refrigerator? Should you store it below 40 degrees, 70 degrees or lower, or 60 degrees and lower? And since we know from our past episodes, a refrigerator's temperature is 32 to 41 degrees. So number 6 to me is a clear shot that, yeah, it should be stored between 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Should I continue giving these answers? Maybe. Let's move on. Number 9, when cutting your raw chicken, you should use a separate knife and cutting board for raw meats. True or false? Number 10. What does FBI stand for when it relates to food? Federal Bureau of Investigation. B, fun butter in food. C, fly-by illness. Or D, a food-borne illness. Number 11. When we're going to saute up our vegetables and caramelize them down, what does saute mean? Is it true that saute means to cook quickly using high heat and a little bit of oil? Is that true or false? Number 13. True or false? Fish is a type of chicken? True or false? Number 13. Talk about rice preparation. Rice preparation is usually 2 parts water, 1 part rice. You let it, 2 parts water, 1 part rice. So let's say I'm preparing 1 cup of rice. If that ratio is correct that we just talked about, with 2 parts water, 1 part rice, and I have 1 cup of rice, how much water am I going to use? 6 cups, A, 4 cups, B, 1 cup, C, 2 cups, D. And again, we're writing the answer, not the letter. Number 14. What are the 3 separate ingredients needed for a breading station with chicken? A, flour, sand, breadcrumbs, eggs, sugar, salt, flour, eggs, breadcrumb. D, flour, eggs, sugar. And we're talking about when you're breading something. 15. What food poisoning can you get if you consume poorly handled, stored, or prepared chicken? Trichinosis, salmonella, also known as salmonella, or botulism. Which one is the one you might get if you don't prepare your chicken right. Number 16, it's okay to defrost your chicken for 24 hours on the countertop at room temperature. True or false? Number 17, you can defrost chicken in a refrigerator? Question mark? Yes or no? Can I put it in the refrigerator and let it defrost there? 18, a properly cooked piece of chicken should look white with no pink at the thickest part of the chicken piece. True or false? 19, rice cooking. Here we go. We got 2 ways to make rice. Which one is right? Put 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, a teaspoon of butter, in a large saucepan. Bring it to boil. Cover it. Lower the heat to a simmer. Take it off the heat for 15 more minutes, never lifting the cover off during that 30-minute cook time. Or 2 cups water, 2 cups rice, 4 cups of water, a teaspoon of butter, bring to boil, cover it for 30 minutes, take it off for another 30 minutes, lift the cover off to make sure everything is going well. I think that other one was good, that first one. Let's paraphrase that first way to do it down. 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, teaspoon of butter, bring it to a boil, cover it, simmer it for 15 minutes, take it off the heat, let it sit for another 15 minutes without the lifting off of the cover and releasing the steam. That's the correct answer. Number 20, true or false? Rice use steam to cook? You know it does. 21, rice is a grain. True or false? 22, what is rice? What the heck is rice? We're talking about rice. What is it, Mr. G? What is it? Is it A, a small edible seed that is cultivated from grains, plants such as wheat, oats, corn, barley, or rye? Grain is the fruit of the grass plant and is one of the most utilized plants on earth. With that answer that much. Or is it made from bubble gum? B, or is it a meat-based food? 23, rice cooking time can vary due to the size of the grain of rice. If my rice is a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, will rice cooking time vary due to how big the grain is? That's me saying yes. 24. 212 degrees is boiling. 190 degrees is simmering. True or false? So when we're simmering rice, it shouldn't be boiling. It should be at 190 degrees simmering. Small little bubbles. Number 25. True or false? Clean means free of germs. Clean means free of germs. 26. How many ounces are in a cup? 2, 4, 6, or 8? Say with 8 and you'll be great. You know it's 8. Define clean. Clean your room. Clean it. Clean it. Is it visibly clear? Is it a mess or is it sanitary, free of germs? Clean does not necessarily mean it's sanitary. Number 29, define sanitary. That deserves a little shuffle of the papers. Define sanitary. Is it free of germs, a pile of mud, or visibly clear? Sanitary. Which one is it? Number 29, mise en place. Again, mise en place. A, everything in its place. prepped and ready to begin before the cooking process. B, I have no idea what that word means. C, I lost the salt. D, running around disorganized. Number 30, what is a calorie? What the heck is a calorie? I hear it all the time. Cut down on calories. Oh, you need more calories. Oh, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of different kinds of calories, okay? But what is a calorie? Is it A unit of energy measured that you get from food? A new type of sneaker? You got those Air Jordans? You got the calorie Jordans? Or is it a food additive? What is a calorie? Little side note on that. Vegetables, good calories, full of nutrients. Empty calorie, chocolate, junk food. Foods are calories, but bad calories. There's the difference between a good calorie and a bad calorie. Everything has a calorie. Some are good, some are bad. Say it ain't so, Mr. G. It's so. Number 32. So I just had a good calorie, had some spinach, got some lettuce, got some veggies, got some rice. Man, I'm feeling good. Oh no, I'm about to eat an empty calorie. A, food with no nutritional value. B, food that is good for you. C, food that smells bad and tastes bad. What is an empty calorie? 32. FBI again. Boy, those FBIs are everywhere. What does it mean? A foodborne illness. A food back is. Looks like it was. And C, FBI, is it fun by the lake? And lake has an L instead of an I, so it's definitely not that one. I got to go with the foodborne illness. Question number 33. Now, we're going to be working on knife skills, okay? And you always will hear the expression, cut that into small, medium, or large dice. Does that mean it has 2 sides, 4 sides, or 6 sides? Dice. Roll the dice. How many sides are on a dice? 34. I just made some chicken, just made some rice, and it's in the food danger zone. Heavens no. What is the food danger zone? Is it 41 degrees or higher where bacteria grows rapidly? B, 32 to 41 degrees, the temperature of the refrigerator? Or C, 1,000 to 2,000 degrees? Food danger zone. Food danger zone. Number 35. Your refrigerators. You're holding food in the refrigerator. What temperature should my refrigerator be at? And I hate ending a question with the word at. That bothers me too. What temperature range should the refrigerator be set? We're not saying at. We're not saying like. So what about my refrigerator? If we know 32 degrees is freezing, we know my refrigerator shouldn't be at that. Should it be at 32 to 41 degrees? Should it be at 50 to 100 degrees? Or 0 to 32 degrees? What's our temperature range of the refrigerator? You got this. Yeah, number 36. Now, I just made some chicken. Finger-licking chicken. Delicious chicken. It's cooked, it's done. How long can it sit out for at room temperature before bacteria will start to grow? 2 hours? 4 hours? 6 hours? 10 hours? What's the maximum time that food can sit out? 37. 110 degrees. We hear about 110 degrees a lot. And when we cook, why is that so significant? And why do we use 110 degrees in our kitchens when we clean? Is it A, the temperature water should be when you wash your hands, and the temperature water should be when you're doing your dishes in the 3-sink method of doing dishes? Or is it C, time to shut off the oven and go home? 37. Look at that. 2 pages to go. And we're going to saute all day. I can't wait to make some stir fry. Here it comes. 38. When you broil something in that oven, is the burner coming off at the top? Coming off. Is the burner on at the top? Or is the burner on at the bottom when you hit that broil button? And to go along with that, if you put bake, if you put your oven on bake setting, is the oven getting its heat from the bottom or the top? 38, a 2-tier question. Being, where does the heat come from when its setting is on broil? Where's the heat coming from when it's on bake? Say it ain't so, Mr. G. A 2-tier question? Yes, it's a 2-tier question. 39. Conduction heat. When we saute or we use our stovetop, what kind of heat source and what does conduction mean? A pan touching a heat source. B, a pan using solar or sun power. C, a pan using a cooking technique using a microwave oven. Number 40. Julienne once again. A thin strip of food in 3-inch lengths. B, big food cuts. C, beef or cattle stew. So now we have our beautiful rice completed, cooked correctly. We have our vegetables sauteed and caramelized beautifully. And my dinner guest, or I don't plan on eating for about 3 hours. What temperature should I hold hot cooked foods at? What temperature? 135 degrees. 212 degrees. Or 190 degrees. Let's go over sauteing real quick, okay? So when we're sauteing up, the standard practice or best practice would be get that rice going when you start. Rinsing rice. Let's write that down. You should rinse your rice before you start using it. Okay? That gets all the excess proteins off it and and it just clears it up. It's a good way of making so that rice will not be thick and clumpy. Again, 8 ounces of rice, 16 ounces of water. Bring that to a boil with a little bit of butter into it. Once it starts coming to a boil, you will put a lid on it and lower the temperature down to 1 or 2 just so it's simmering, small bubbles. You see a lot of bubbles coming out of that thing. It's too hot. Turn it down just so it's simmering. Set that timer or set your cell phone for 15 minutes. Don't lift the cover off. You'll let all the steam out, and that will be sad for your rice. 15 minutes have gone by. Take it off the burner. with the cover still on and wait another 15 minutes. And let me tell you, in about 35 minutes, if all goes well, you are going to have a lot of rice. A cup of rice, boy, oh boy, you could probably, it almost quadruples in size. It makes 3 or 4 times bigger. That's why rice is so economical. It has it has fiber, it has carbs, it's a good filler. If you have a brown rice, that means that the husk, and husk is still in it and it hasn't been bleached. There's many different kinds of rice. You take those vegetables now that you've cut up into juliennes or small, medium, or large dice, and depending on how thick or dense that vegetable is how long you're going to cook those until they caramelize or slowly soften. Let's write this down again. Please, let's write this down. Cold pan. A, cold pan, step 1. B, preheat that pan. C, preheat that pan, add a little olive oil to it, just a little. Get that popping and snapping. Your rice is over to here, cooking separately, and now you're going to put in the most dense pieces first. Write this down. If you plan on using vegetables, here's the way we should go through it. Your thickest ones first: onions, garlic, carrots, then peppers, celery. Then we can go down to things a little bit softer: broccoli, peas, corn, lettuce, sprouts. If you put everything in at once, the only thing that's going to be left is going to be those carrots, and all those fabulous vegetables will be so hot they'll shrink up into nothing. So you want to be very careful of how and when you put in those particular vegetables. It's Stir Fry City here at Mr. G's Family and Consumer Science. Stir fry, stir fry. Let's go. Caramelize, caramelize. Yo, yo, yo. Make that rice so round and tasty, and that dinner won't be hasty. This is Mr. G, Family and Consumer Science. Chicken, rice, and vegetable episodes. Get those elbows off the table. This ain't no horse's stable. Respectable dining room table. Feet on the floor, back straight. Don't bow over that plate. Fork goes on the left. Knife goes on the right. Spoon next to the knife. Glass up top. Plate in the middle. Don't be silly. Enjoy your meal, Mr. G. We'll see you again. Happy sauteing.
Family and Consumer Science.
Mr. Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight. Never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed. Chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table.